I don't think it happened because of guns. I think it happened because somebody who was clearly suffering from severe mental illness
had access to weapons that would allow them to carry out a terrible shooting.
And the mental illness was encouraged.
But Scott, what about people who don't have mental illness?
I don't think we can tiptoe around this issue. And when you look at the messages that were written in some of the materials and on the weapons that we've seen, I mean, this person obviously was in a dark place.
Obviously.
And I want to know,
obviously.
I'm not sure the government is in that person's life enough to know, but his parents are.
But what
and his
about,
family is.
Scott, what about people who don't have mental illness? We have a huge gun violence issue here in the United States. We lead in gun violence.
But the issue today is quite obviously mental illness. And
if you take away the mental illness, it still leaves the guns.
You would be hard-pressed to find someone in the mainstream media who Uncle KC respects more than the American hero Scott Jennings. I am a real American. Every night, the American hero deals with liars and paid propagandists. Every night, the American hero delivers the truth through a thick smog of toxic mouth farts. I don't know who in the hell that dude was who kinda looks like Poindexter. I'm sure he is very well educated. I'm sure he has multiple degrees from Woke U. I would imagine that he's got all kinds of fancy letters after his name. Poindexter, PhD, JD, MF, LGBT++, @. I don't care how many degrees Captain Doofus has, he is still Captain Doofus. If you take away the mental illness, it still leaves the guns. I'm struggling to understand the point he was trying to make. If you take away the polish from CNN, it still leaves the turd. If you take away the match from Gabby Newsom, it still leaves the flaming ass fire in the People's Republic of California. Any time tragedy happens, the mainstream media always wants to blame the symptom instead of the problem. They don't want to focus on the fact that the shooter in Minneapolis was transgender. They don't want to focus on the fact that Rob Westman was deeply disturbed. All the media wants to do is blame the guns. You know, it's strange. Anytime there's a fire, I never see the media blame the match. If someone holds up a liquor store at knife point, I never see the media blame the knife. But if they hold up the liquor store with a water gun, the media wants to blame the gun. To their credit, I guess, the media has gotten a little more creative with this latest tragedy. Instead of focusing all of their fake outrage on guns, the media has decided to attack the power of prayer. You know, the mainstream media is so out of touch with normal people. It's not like their ratings could get any lower. It's not like the media needs to prove that they're out of touch with normal people, but they decide to prove it anyway by attacking the dominant religion in this country. A religion that deacons at Woke United Methodist cannot stand. Supposedly, the deacons promote a woke faith that believes in tolerance. When Muslims get on the carpet and pray 5 times a day, all good. When Hindus or Buddhists talk about the power of karma, no problem. But when tragedy happens at a Catholic school in Minneapolis and millions of people pray for the victims and their families, according to the deacons, that is no bueno. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Plain Toothbrush. I am notoriously OCD about my teeth. Never had a cavity. I go to the dentist every 3 or 4 months, whether I need to or not. But as I've gotten older, my dentist has told me that my gum lines are starting to erode. Why? because the tough bristles on my toothbrush are brushing away my gums. He told me if I didn't fix this problem immediately, I would need a skin graft, which is damn sure no bueno. Luckily, I found the perfect toothbrush with plain toothbrush. These toothbrushes are exactly as they are described. Plain, which is actually a good thing. Plain toothbrushes are the classic style with soft bristles. All the bristles are the same size, so they clean better and they last longer. Plain toothbrushes are easier to hold, and what's even better? They're made right here in the USA. Plain toothbrush was the top-ranked toothbrush in a study conducted by the dental department at Tufts University. If you prefer tougher bristles, that's all good. Plain toothbrushes offered with extra soft bristles all the way to extra hard, everything in between. Start taking better care of your teeth and your gums today by clicking the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20, BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with plain toothbrush. When Rachel Maddow decided to jump off the MSNBC Titanic, the network decided to replace her with Jen Psaki. Now, on paper, this was a logical decision. Little Red Riding Hood was the press secretary for our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden, which means she had mainstream recognition. When people saw that radiant red hair, they knew they were watching a professional liar. As you guys know, deceivers are not only welcome at MSNBC, they're preferred. No one expected Little Red to match Rachel Maddow's drawing power, but the problem is, Jen Psaki hasn't been able to match the ratings of the Wicked Weave Joy Reid. Primetime at MSNBC is an absolute disaster. Jen Psaki has eclipsed 1 million viewers once in the month of August. The huge embarrassing failure is likely to continue because Jen Psaki, she offended over 60% of the country on Wednesday morning. An hour or so after the country found out about the tragedy in Minneapolis, Jen Psaki lectured her lonely male followers on Twitter about prayer. Listen up, peasants. Take your hand off your wanker. I have something important to tell you. Prayer is not enough. Prayer doesn't take away guns. Prayer doesn't help the children. Stop praying and start taking action. I'm Jen Psaki. Unfortunately, Jennifer wasn't done humiliating herself. She then attacked the Trumper for deploying the National Guard to fight crime in woke cities. So, she doesn't want you to pray for victims of crime, and Jen Psaki doesn't want the National Guard fighting crime. It's not just Jen Psaki attacking prayer. Some doofus named Mike Steele at MSNBC, he also provided his unwanted opinion on prayer. Yesterday, Mike Steele was part of a panel with Simone Sanders, who somehow has less hair than the last time I saw her. There was another dude on the panel who appeared to style his hair by sticking his finger in an electric ass. Omar Elon was also on the panel, and that's very important to remember. Omar Elon is a devout Muslim. I assume she boards the carpet and prays 5 times a day. But Omar Elon was not offended by Mike Steele's attack on prayer because she knows he's not attacking her faith, he's only attacking Christianity. Watch for yourself.
The thoughts and prayers, I'm so beyond that nonsense, the lie of that. Because what we have are people who continue to stand in the way of actually doing something to stop the violence against their own kids. It is amazing to me. We watch young kids die in classrooms and now in church. And all we get are thoughts and prayers.
The community does, in many ways, appreciate the prayers and the support.
Just think about this. Mike Steele is attacking the power of prayer in front of a devout Muslim. Like Christians, Muslims believe in the power of prayer. Obviously, the two faiths are praying to two different gods, but prayer is the foundation to each faith. This dude, he is attacking prayer to her face, but Ilhan Omar was not offended. She offered a little bit of resistance by claiming that the prayers were appreciated, but she was not offended by these remarks. Why? Because she knows Mike Steele isn't talking about her faith. She knows Mike Steele isn't criticizing Muslims. Omar knows he is criticizing Christians. You never see anyone in the media attacking the Muslim faith, which is a faith that directly opposes the woke faith. The woke media fights for LGBT rights, which are non-existent in Muslim countries. The woke media fights for gender-affirming care, which will never be offered in Muslim countries. The woke media claims to be tolerant. There is no such thing as tolerance if you're living under Sharia law. The woke media claims to be feminist. Women have damn near zero rights in Sharia countries. I was watching an interview the other day. A British journalist was interviewing one of the Muslim leaders in Great Britain. They were talking about divorce. If a Muslim man wants to divorce his wife, all he has to say is, I want a divorce. He doesn't have to go to court, doesn't have to file paperwork. He can tell his wife, I'm done with you, and the marriage is over. If the woman wants to divorce her husband, good luck. To his credit, the British journalist pointed out the obvious hypocrisy. The Muslim leader, he tried to explain it by saying, well, you know, women go through psychological changes. They're not always thinking clearly. Does that sound feminist to you? Does that sound anything like the woke faith? The reason I am bringing this up, the media has no problem attacking Christianity, but they refuse to do the same thing with Islam. Why? I think it's because they're terrified. For starters, this union between the far left and Islam, it is a union of convenience. Each side is using the other to further their own agenda. But I think the media is terrified to criticize the Muslim faith. They're afraid to be labeled, they're afraid of the backlash, and I think they're mainly afraid because they know Muslims will not tolerate it. But what do you think? Why does the media feel comfortable attacking Christianity, but they refuse to do the same with Islam? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.